Welcome to the Jurassic Park Revolution series finale, here on the SurvivalVis channel. Welcome back, survivors. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Jurassic Park Revolution for our series finale, episode 21. 21 episodes of JPR, and we are finally at the series end. So, the Mandibles series finale just went up earlier this week as a premiere, and just like that one, this one is going to be a premiere as well. And we're also going to do a big every dino on the roster, super mega extra blowout hunt. And as you can see, I have adjusted all the point values as well. And the reason for that is so that way we've basically earned our way up to this point, so we're just going to have some fun to really send the series off with. As commenters have asked if I could do special DLC, we will do this new Isla Cosmica as the third map. It replaces Tyrannus. And as for the Outcast Dinosaur DLC, we'll actually probably do that somewhere in the future, because that could be its own mini-series on its own, not just like a one-episode finale. But I want to try changing up a little bit of content on the channel, so that's why we are going to adjust and bring JPR to a big blowout end like we had for Mandibles. So, everything looks good, tranks are off because this is our trophy tour. So let's hop in and do some true dino hunting. Let's get right on in. Okay, so we're all loaded on Cosmica, and it is... well, it is a very vibrant place, isn't it? What's the entire map look like? Oh, okay. I'm actually a little bit surprised. It's a decent size and just like a simple-ish looking map, so I'm kind of happy about that. And we are still playing with Jurassic Park Option Genesis skins, because we have to show off, oh, a little tiny Homalocephalae. Not even 0.2 of a ton. So we're basically going to show off all the skins, just have a big trophy tour. I decided to turn the radar on, because after playing the Mandibles one, it kind of helps to know where things are for what we're going to be going after. But I did get a request again last episode to try covering Cosmica and the Outcast Dinos. The Outcast Dinos, there's probably enough content there for a mini-series, so that's why we'll just do the map like Cosmica on this one and see how we do. And we will probably make this one at least half hour to 40 minutes for an episode as well. I just want to be ready because there's our first dino right over here. I don't know exactly what it is, but it doesn't seem all that big if it's... okay, well, it ran away from us, so more than likely it's probably something like an Tyrannosaurus or maybe a Torosaur. At least it's not a carnivore that wants to, like, come right at us and take us down. So let's at least just try to get into view range, because it looks like... I'm guessing Cosmica is almost like two mountain ranges, and then there's the dip in the middle that's almost like a crater or perhaps a dry riverbed of some kind. The only thing is going to be trying to get... even if we see them on radar, they aren't exactly the easiest animals to also be able to get, like, visual contact of. And on dense maps like these, that is even more difficult. So it's supposed to be directly to our east, somewhere out there. Okay, I wasn't even looking quite the right direction, so it's somewhere to our east over this way. Oh! The Edmontosaurus. I'm trying to remember, where is your weak spot? Okay, so right along the back. Yeah, the Edmontosaurus, the vanilla skin for JPR, I actually really like of it, because it's a nice contrast, but also that sort of like natural vibrancy of that nice kind of tan base color and then the counter striping to it. I really do enjoy that skin of the vanilla JPR mod. Now, the only thing will be trying to get in range of some of these animals to actually hunt them. Because the Edmontosaurus we're probably not going to be able to see for a while, and unfortunately, the wind is always against us. No matter what we seem to play, Call of the Wild, any of the Carnivores mod, the wind always wants to be against us. For some reason, always wants to blow to the middle of the islands. And of course, that's usually where the dinos are. Well, we can at least hopefully get a little bit of a run and then see what we can spot on the horizon there. Oh. Oh. Well, there's the Carnivores, and I'm actually kind of glad he killed us. We can start this better. But what a skin. So we finally got to see Carnivores, and I think you guys can agree that the look of it is so much more intimidating with the JPOG skin than the base JPR skin. Like, not to take anything away from the JPR skin, I just feel like blue is not exactly that believable of a natural color onto a dinosaur, even for, like, Jurassic Park standards that have some ones that are kind of out there. Blue just isn't something you'd expect to see on something that kind of dwells on in the jungle or forest or that, but that dark gray skin with those red, like, crests over the eyes, it is a terrifying sight to behold. Now, where in the heck are you? Yeah, this is one of the problems with the radar on, is it becomes a crutch you rely on to try to figure out the direction of things and where they might be. I mean, Cosmica's an interesting map, but I do feel a little bit like maybe it's a bit too dense on foliage, because like, I think on a more modern game like Call of the Wild, you might be able to see, like, the difference between colors a bit easier, but for what the Carnivores engine is, a lot of stuff just kind of, like, blends together as pixels and that, so it's not the easiest to kind of spot things through. So it's supposed to be a little bit more to the northeast, whatever this is, and then there are two more. Oh, okay, it's a Kentro. Oh, there he is. I think Kentro is the head, isn't it? Yeah. I was kind of hoping you would just decide to stop for a moment, but we may actually... Yeah, I'll take the QBZ and try going after him and see if we can just get him down and maybe those other two as well. Yeah, so it should just be still, okay, running a bit more to the coastline from looks of it. And that'll give us a good view of what these other two might be alongside them. Okay, yeah, we're going to be pretty up close with whatever these are, so... Oh yeah, like, it's super hard to see even what is through there. Well, there's an Albertosaurus. Okay, so at least that's those two covered. The Albertosaurus, although... Oh yeah. Oh, there's the trophy ship. I don't think we've ever really shown that in JPR. It's actually kind of neat because they just decide to use the rotors as a solid object, since there's not much movement to it, but... So that's the Alberto taken care of. The Kentrosaur will be next down here. And we're good to venture off more to the west. Now, we're probably going to try two different hunts. This is basically our all-star tour of sorts to try to get what trophies we can. The next hunt, though, is going to be more dynamic and more unique. It's going to be Isla Penna with the most aggressive, dangerous dinos possible, with no radar. So we're basically expecting to be blasting with the shotgun as much as possible in order to deal with whatever might be out there. But I'd probably have to give JPR... I'm trying to think of what I'd give the ranking. So it's supposed to be just the very back of it.
Okay.
And see, I'm going to have to try to get closer to get a nice shot.
Returning to base.
JPR, I'd probably look at giving maybe a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. The start is very, very off for what you kind of Carnivores has made you grow to expect in a way. Like, the map feels incredibly contained and tiny that it doesn't really feel like a proper hunting map. It feels like more of a shooter, and then as you go further along, that shooter changes more to the hunting you'd expect that Carnivores kind of more leans into. Actually, you know what? Let me try with the green flame. We haven't really used this that much. I mean, even for what I thought was the mortal zone, it seemed like it took a lot of shots on that. But yeah, some of the maps also, not just like feeling small, but the terrain is kind of iffy. Isla Muerta and Mandibles are big examples of that, where they might be pretty unique, but because of how sloped and rugged and jagged the terrain is, the dinosaurs have horrible issues trying to pathfind towards you, so it feels more like you're able to exploit the simpler behavior of them really easily. The weapon variety, I think it's actually not bad. I do feel like, though, some of the iron sights and just like some of the weapon deviation feels really off compared to some other games. But that also is because JPR uses the mortal zone system in it. So if you don't hit those mortal zones, the shots do far less than you're expecting. Whereas every other game up till now, or mod we've done, such as like Triassic and... Oh, crap. Wrong time to be... Why'd you have to chase... Uh-oh. Why'd you bug out? Okay, looks like we got technical difficulties with kind of ending up in the water there. Apologies for that little bit. I had no idea what happened there. But yeah, Green Flame, Grizzly. I feel like the mortal zones are too tiny for, like, the weapons. Like, the Mandibles, we have shot multiple times along the back where it shows one. We haven't gotten that down yet. So, instead of that, we're going to look more at going after the greatest dangers. So, screw you guys, because honestly, I don't feel like they do that much. No radar. We're basically just going to go balls to the wall on Penna with every apex animal on, well, the apex, the acro, every carnivore, and even the kentrosaurs, because they are pretty dangerous themselves, for a big show-stopping hunt. We will probably do another all-out tour, just because Cosmica, I feel, is too dense of foliage. There's way too much plant variety on there. We'll maybe do Sores with like an... or... No, Tronar, I think we kind of run into the issue again. You know what? No, we'll do Tronar after. For now, though, the tiniest map with the most dangerous dinos with basically the dino killer arsenal. So let's hop in and do this big bang predator hunt. Oh. I barely got set up and we were all... Yeah, so we're going to restart. You guys thought I might have been joking when I said we would be... Oh, God. You guys thought I was joking when I said we'd be all-out predator hunting. Restart. Okay, I've got a moment to catch my damn breath, because holy crap. It literally is. Every animal is super aggressive and ready to come down on you. This is where Penna, I think, is the very bad start for any Carnivores mod, because it feels more like you're engaged in a shooter than you are actually trying to hunt anything.
Okay.
It's more of a survival of the fittest, and you have to be ready with it.
Returning to base.
And, like, we're going into the danger zone next, because the main part of Penna is probably going to be the most dangerous and lethal map we've ever been on in any Carnivore series. Like, we basically had 2 to 3 starts right there. We barely got into it because there's always an aggressive dinosaur right there to kill us. So this is going to be quite the fight to get to the other end of Penna. Oh, you can see the Carcara out there too. Like, not getting the mortal zones on that Carcara, it took an entire clip of this M16 on its own. So you can see that this is not going to be an easy thing to do. And there's another one. This is the true apex of the mod, and it looks so good with the JPOG skin on. It looks so predatory and evil, almost. Okay, so we are a quarter of the way through Penna. Our goal is basically to get to the other end of the island without dying. So far, the M16, gone for ammo. We've used everything up. The Spas, we only have a few shots left in that. The QBZ, we are down to just this one. Oh, fantastic! Oh my god, why are there so many Carcaras? And there's 2 Acros. I'm just gonna go in reverse, because Oh, yeah, there's no dodging those guys either. Unless you get them before they get you, you're dead. We'll try one more restart. Okay, we've got another breather. And yeah, the JPOG acro works so much better, so well too. I do have to admit, the JPR skins, I do feel like maybe they're like toy line based or something, because they just feel so strange compared to, like, even just the JPOG skins that feel kind of grounded in some way. Okay, but that's the acro down. So at least we can say that we're starting to make some progress. I don't know if we'll actually make it to the other end of Penna. It's going to be how many Carnivores have spawned, to be honest. I think that's the biggest limiter, is how many big Titan guys have spawned in the map. And speaking of, hello, Carcara. You basically need your eye shot out. So you're basically the T-Rexes of JPR. I do not know if we'll get lucky. The QB said we may actually get lucky with if we're... Yeah, I think that one... That's my only problem with the mortal zones, is if they're in a way that you can't really get to them when they're, like, charging you almost, they feel more like they cripple you. And that's where Carnivores Plus, I think, has done mortal zones a lot better so far. Whereas you have special things like the Therizinosaur covering its mortal zone and the Majungatholus being on its chest. As much as they may be difficult, they are still more like of a chance of you actually being able to make use of them.
Okay.
Whereas for things like the Carcharodontosaur or the Camarasaur, where it's just the eyes,
Returning
you
to
don't
base.
get that much opportunity to really even try going for that. Yeah, so this is going to be dangerous. We're into basically the death zone of Penna now. Okay, so we got rid of that. We'll get the QBZ ready, because there was a Kentrosaur and an Allosaur. We're doing pretty good, though. We're further along than we were with the... Okay, well, there's an Allosaur. Actually, there are a couple of them. Oh, I'm basically just funneling them into, like, a death bundle at the very tip of the island, though. Okay, so there's the Nacrogon.
Okay.
God, in some ways, I don't know if I should have just brought the Grizzly and the Green Flame along to try for the Mortal Zone on the Carchara or not, but... Yeah, I'd rather change out than try taking a pot shot, because... Okay, there you go.
Shot.
Yeah, the M16 only has the one shot left. Ooh, we're basically going to be down to that SMG, the shotgun. Okay, I don't know if we have to worry about that or not, because the Edmontosauruses can still kill you. The only issue is that usually has to be like they're provoked into it. Because even the Tyrannosauruses can kill you as well. It's just, again, they have to be more provoked into it than anything else. So this is going to be the death bundle that we kind of created from funneling everything up with all the shots. If there's going to be anything that's scary, this is going to be it. Because, well, I mean, all of Penna's been scary with these settings, hasn't it? Oh god, why do you have to load one at a time, you stupid? Ah. One more restart. Oh, ball. Oh, double ball. Oh, god.
Nice shot.
Okay, yeah, we're done on Penna. This is way too difficult. We're going to exit. But that is where I have to give some points off of JPR. The Mortal Zones, some of them are good, others are just not, though. Like, I have to say the Camarasaurus, the Acro a bit, and the Carchara. I know the Carchara is more just like how the T-Rex was in Carnivores, but I still have to admit the Mortal Zones aren't exactly that good. What we will do, though, is we are going to end off the hunt and everything proper with a, like, big all-tour hunt on Tronar. We are going to keep tranquilizers off. We'll see what trophies we actually saved from all of the pain and suffering Penna put us through there, but... Damn, it feels more like a weird shooter in a way, going with settings like that. But let's hop in and go after some proper trophies to end the series off with. So, you guys see death already coming? Even on a giant map like Tronar, we spawn next to an angry dino. But we'll restart. Okay, good news is there's nothing immediately beside us, so we at least can do a little bit of movement. It's like... Some animals, that Mortal Zone, it kind of is like what Mandibles does, but Mandibles at least gives you, like, some pretty powerful weapons to really work with on taking animals down. Like, the Green Flame, for what is supposed to be the super weapon, it doesn't feel anywhere near as powerful as you'd expect for all the points it costs. The railgun feels more powerful, incredibly so. Like I'm going to try and see if I can get the Mortal Zone eye shot for the Edmontosaurus there. Just because we've always been trying the back, and it's never taken it down in one. I thought that would be one of the spots to, like, aim for. Doesn't exactly seem to be the case, however, does it, with all the stuff we've been trying, huh? Oh, would you just stop for a moment? Okay, well, you know what? I did ask you to stop, so I suppose thank you in some way. Yeah, like, when the Mortal Zones are too small with a weapon roster that always sways, always has deviation, and doesn't have a great zoom-in, it doesn't feel like it meshes as well as it should. That's where I think Mandibles really helped kind of understand and excel was, the weapons don't have good zoom-in, so we won't do Mortal Zones. You just have to make sure you line those shots up with things. And that, I think, did work really well to its strengths. And I think that's also where Carnivores Plus is getting itself some of its own kind of respect as well, is the Mortal Zones are fairly sizable and noted. That even just using a shotgun kind of helps you with a good sight to it. Like the Chimera, unless you get that eye shot, you're in for... Like, how many shots of this green flame does it actually take to do something? It's... I don't know, just, it doesn't feel like it all meshes together as nicely as it should. And that's why I do have to say, I would say 7.5 out of 10 for JPR. The maps are a little too rugged for the animals because they have pathfinding issues almost constantly on some maps. Isla Muerta, Matanceros, even Tronar you might have a few areas with some difficulty to it, but... Some of the dinosaur skins, again, are very good, but others could also use improvements. I'd say the vanilla Albertosaurus, or the JPR Albertosaurus, and the Edmontosaurus are my favorites of JPR skins. They aren't anything like super fancy or unique or like out there, but they just fit so well into the environment. And have to reload every shot individually. God. But yeah, just, it doesn't all quite mesh together. I still have issues when it comes to things like the iron sights on a number of weapons. Like, I honestly could have sworn that should have been a mortal shot, but again, if they're too tiny and the weapons don't have a really great zoom to them, it makes it almost like an impossible challenge, and then you feel how difficult it is to try taking the animals down properly. Like the Camarasaurus, without getting that mortal zone, and even, I mean, hell, the green flame you'd expect would be a very powerful tool. It takes like an entire clip to get a Chimera. Well, and we're probably going to see some animals with some pathfinding issues up here. Like, okay, there's one shot on the Torosaurus there. So, 2 for you. There we go. Okay, at least that kind of cleans up all the wounded ones that were over here. Yeah, I don't even think I have that much of a favorite weapon to JPR. It's just what weapon feels the best to use, and that'd probably be either the QBZ or the M16. Just because, again, the sniper rifle and the green flame are facing an issue with too tiny of a mortal zone on some animals for it to feel effective on. You'd expect to be using these things on like the Camarasaurus and the Carcharodontosaurus, and we have yet to try against a Carchara using the snipers, but without them, it just feels like the QBZ and the N16 are the ones that will ensure you can actually do something before it gets to you. As for favorite animal, I'm actually not sure what my favorite animal is. Like, again, if we're talking about just base GPR, I have to give it to the Albertosaurus and the Edmontosaurus. The Edmontosaurus, I do think the spine, if you are going to put a bit of a weak zone to it, or a mortal zone like it has, should be a little more impactful than just, like, around the eye. But they still look very good. As for, like, the JPOG mod, I have to give it to between the Acro and the Carchara, just because both of them, maybe it's just nostalgia, but they feel so much better with these kind of JPOG mods. Something about them just stands out a bit more. And there's almost like more personality to them than some of the other colors. Like, I don't think the Carcharodontosaurus blue really helps it. There we go.
Nice shot.
Yeah. The green flame doesn't feel like it does anything. It just feels a little too weak for what you... Okay, oh, that was just flowers. I saw the red, I thought Allosaurus, and it was, oh crap, which weapon do we have on hand? The green flame, for being the super weapon, feels so lacking in power. Like, the railgun in Mandibles, you feel that has power in it. Like, it just... Again, it stops a well, it needs double ammo, but it'll take down the Yaekalopterus, which is a titan of its own might. Whereas the green flame doesn't feel like you've really earned anything for all the effort put in to get the points for it. You basically have a stronger weapon in the M16, if I'm honest. It might not have as much ammo, but it actually might kill at things with the same amount of ammo it kind of takes for the green flame to. Probably just get one or two more, then we'll take a look in the trophy area. And probably wrap things up there. I think my favorite map is Isla Sorres out of the JPR mod, though. Like, everything about it just kind of clicks well. It has... the nice variation in, like, altitude and elevations. It has the variety of biomes in it, such as... Oh, good thing there's no fall damage. It has the variety of biomes, such as, like, the desert area in the middle of, basically, the outback. It's it's almost like a mini Australia, in a way. Uh-oh. Oh, we actually got a very rare Texturglitchus Kentrosaurus. I think we've actually only ever seen one of these before as an Allosaurus, which with the texture glitch early in the game, or early in the series. I don't know if it's just because of how I installed it, but for some reason, a few animals just have that super bizarre graphical glitch on them. I don't know why. Just, I guess a little bug in coding or something, but... yeah, we'll try going after maybe one or two more animals, and then we'll head back. But I think where I'd look at improving JPR is definitely in the maps. As much as you like the ruggedness, it needs to be a little bit brought down in order for the animals to pathfind better if you want them to be, like, a serious threat. If we think back to... what is it? Muerta was a good example, where you had all the Kentrosaurs. Yeah, there's that taken down. You had all the Kentrosaurs that would, like, ghosts in the mist that felt dangerous, but they just kind of got stuck circling around and going through loops over and over again that kind of took away a lot of the danger, and it was more like just a shooting gallery. So I try smoothing out some of the maps so the dinosaurs and the animals have easier time of, like, movement and pathfinding towards you. The weapons, I think the weapons are okay. It's more the mortal zones should maybe be re-looked at.
Okay. Returning to base.
Like, where is yours? Okay, yours is on the back and the stomach.
Nice shot.
Okay, yeah, so that was 2 to 3 shots with the green flame for an Albertosaurus. I feel like it should be more or less shots than that, but it might be maybe a mortal zone is like a single shot. It's kind of iffy and hard to think of, or hard to explain what the feel should be, but I just feel like either the mortal zones are a little too tight and narrow for the weapons, or like, I think this actually harkens back to what I've said about JPR, is it feels more like a shooter than a hunting game. Penna, Perdita, these small, tight maps that have you really up close to them, really, I think, exemplify that sort of thinking. Whereas when I'm playing Carnivores, I'm looking more for a hunting game, where it is sneaking, stalking, trying to get good and ready for that shot, whereas JPR, it doesn't really lend itself to that. Yeah, so everything's looking like we're probably going to be a while before we find anything. I don't really feel like trying to take down a Chimera because, again, if you don't get the eye, it's just a bullet sponge. So we'll go to the southeast, see how... that might be a while. You know what, we'll go for a little run, see how we do for time. Although, truth be told, you know what, no. We're going to actually end it here, because we did take down a number of animals. And we'll head in and we'll take a look at the trophy room and how we've kind of done. Okay, so we're back in the menu. Let's take a look at the collection. Okay, yeah, so it looks like we actually have a number of trophies from hunts that we did very early in the game, because you can see a lot of Tyrannosaurs and Styracosaurs. Yeah, so we actually haven't really done all that much in... Oh, we do have an Albertosaurus, though. Oh, what's in here? Yeah, we've never actually been into the trophy area before in JPR. So it actually is like a little outpost of sorts to planning your hunts and that. That was actually pretty cool. Probably should have tried seeing this earlier. But yeah, all of what we've basically been after without the tranquilizers on has been these animals. So maybe we'll even just see if we have... No, actually, you basically can't add unless you go out and hunt and add in empty spots. Like the Aloe, I think I like the JPOG just a little bit better than the Jurassic Park Revolution. The Tyrannosaurus, though, I think I prefer this look. It's a little bit more natural than just complete black and red on it. But yeah, with us in the trophy room kind of looking over everything, we will end the episode and the series off here. Next week, we will begin Jurassic Park Hunter Legends, so we'll see how that feels and how that goes along. I don't know how big of a turnout it'll get, because I always feel like Jurassic Park Revolution doesn't get talked about that much, but Hunter Legends seems to come up very often. So we'll see how that is played, the series on that, and hopefully we'll see a lot of you guys carry on into that series. For now, though, thank you for joining me on JPR. I know it was kind of like a left field series that brought in kind of like the Jurassic Park chunk with Jurassic World Evolution, but I do think it is a good mod. I think the start and some of the features are really different compared to what you expect in a Carnivores game, but if you can manage through and get through the beginning, it does open up into a very good experience. 7.5 out of 10. Not quite there, still some improvements to be made, but overall, I would recommend trying it out if you're curious. So, thank you for joining me on 21 episodes of Jurassic Park Revolution. It has been a pleasure to be able to do this for you guys. Thank you for all the support and requests that came in. As Jurassic Park Hunter Legends gets going, and slowly through that, I do want to do request hunts in that as well. So maybe the time will come that we'll be doing more requests right down the line when we're all open for it. If you do like the series or just want to wish it well, be sure to leave a comment right down below, and I always try to reply to you guys. And this is also a premiere, or hopefully is one. So I should have been here talking to you guys in the chat box beside as well, if you have any questions or comments. And if you do want to support the channel, think about subscribing. We are slowly building up, and hopefully as we go through new series and experience new things, we'll just add more and more to the community. Until I see you in the next episode or series, survivors, please remember as always to take care and stay alive.